So the President of the United States just said he has the authority to kill people as he pleases.
And Mr. President, if you are declaring war against these cartels and Congress is likely to approve of that process, why not just ask for a declaration of war?
Well, I don't think we're going to necessarily ask for a declaration of war. I think we're just going to kill people that are bringing drugs into our country. Okay? We're going to kill them. You know, they're going to be like dead. Okay?
We're going to kill people who are bringing drugs into our country. Okay? We're going to kill them. We're going to kill them dead. This is the leader of the free world, ladies and gentlemen. Trump has said he doesn't need congressional authority to kill who he has determined are narco-terrorists, but he has provided zero evidence that these are narco-terrorists. But let's put that argument aside for a minute. Even if these people on boats about 1,600 miles away from the US are smuggling drugs, what authority does Trump have to just kill them via missile strike? Zero. This is clearly a flagrant violation of international law, domestic law, and all sorts of norms. No evidence, no oversight, no due process, no justice, just death. This is supposedly the 10th missile strike ordered by the two former television stars, President Trump and Secretary of War Pete Hegseth. I say supposedly because who knows? They may have killed more people than we know. After these 10 deadly strikes, over 40 people have been killed. We have no proof that these individuals were drug traffickers, no evidence that they were an existential threat to the United States, and considering they were on small boats hundreds of miles away from our shores, it's pretty clear that they weren't. There is no reason that Trump couldn't have the DEA, troops, or the Coast Guard intercept these boats, board them, search them, and arrest the people on board if that was necessary. These deadly strikes are not only a gross violation of human rights, but almost certainly crimes against humanity. In his first term, President Trump regularly praised the president of the Philippines, Rodrigo Duterte, for his extremely violent crackdown on drug dealers in the Philippines. Though human rights organizations regularly reported on the abuses by this regime, extrajudicial executions, torture, indefinite detention, etc. And those in the Philippines often reported that several innocent people were killed by this reign of terror. It's worth noting that Duterte is currently sitting in a prison cell in The Hague awaiting trial by the International Criminal Court. While in some ways we find ourselves in uncharted territory with these current extrajudicial executions, really, past precedent has paved the way for Trump to do this. For over 2 decades, the war on terror saw presidents of both parties carry out extrajudicial executions all over the world, killing anyone the administration labeled a terrorist. Remember when the government decided it was going to count all military-aged males as enemy combatants, even if they were subjected to an illegal double-tap drone strike targeting first responders? What about when President Obama ordered the drone strike that killed U.S. citizen Anwar al-Awlaki in September 2011? No arrest, no charges, no trial, just extrajudicial execution. Remember when one of the last things the Biden administration did as it exited Afghanistan was launch a drone strike on what the DoD said at the time was an ISIS terrorist, but through investigative reporting was proven to be 10 civilians, including 7 children. Eventually, the military apologized. These were all stepping stones that led up to what Trump is doing today. Now Trump is expanding it even further, killing people far from any battlefield, without even pretending that there's oversight, with no attempt to shoehorn the authorization of the AUMFs that should have been repealed decades ago. He's just saying, I'm the president, I have the authority to kill whoever I say. This is where things get real scary. Trump has already signed executive orders trying to label domestic groups, American citizens, and political opponents as terrorists and enemies of the state. If he believes he can kill suspected traffickers abroad without evidence, what's to stop him from doing the same thing here at home against Americans that he decides are terrorists? This isn't about partisanship. Both parties have been guilty of doing horrible things and violating the rule of law. But it's about that rule of law and whether a president can act as judge, jury, and executioner. For far too long, Congress and the courts have abdicated their responsibility as co-equal branches of government and as checks and balances over the power of the president. If Congress and the courts don't step in now, we may be watching the slow death of American freedom and democracy, one missile at a time. Today, it's supposed narco-terrorists. Tomorrow, who's next?